All right, folks, looks like we have our next player. It's going to be Pet. So Zerg coming into the fray to try and knock down Drogo.
Yet again. Yeah, I don't know about, like, cheesing someone out in a game is always going to be perhaps worthwhile. In fact, like, you know, it's a very common way to snipe some people that are really strong, but maybe not the best way to go. Certainly not the best game to look on as, like, a teaching tool, I would say. Well, I guess there's... You can still teach them how to all-in better, right? But you can see all aspects of their play. I don't know if Pet's gonna be as eager to all-in. Pet's kind of an aggressive guy sometimes.
Yeah, I think, though, for me, what's weird, I'm thinking of, we haven't actually seen much Pet. In fact, I would say we've seen about as much Pet as the Chinese players when it comes down to the roster here.
Yeah, I do agree about that, and that's like... It's all based off of memory from a long time ago.
Is that Belshire, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're up to $271 in that prize pool so far. Like I said, guys, there's a ton of coupon codes available. So to give you the quick skinny on how this works while we wait for the lobby to go up. By the way, shout out and thank you to Design for hosting the maps. Up here on the Match Arena page, you go to the top right, you sign in with your Twitch account. Then, without worrying about giving away any personal information or your PayPal or anything like that, you click Donate. Type in the code DW2, and I'll add $1. This comes out of Match Arena's pocket. Of course, you can comment something like butts or I don't know, donate. Boom. You add $1 to the prize pool, and it costs you nothing, and it gives the players a little bit more cash. It is worth noting that we do give 100% of the prize money to the players. You know, we're not taking some weird cut for ourselves, and Match Arena is actually really kind in the fact that they are covering some of the, for example, processing fees. Like they always add in that extra 3 to 10 whatever percent it is. So all the money on that page is going to go to the players today. 65% to the winning team, 35% to the losing team. And we're ready to go. So let's hop into the intro, and we'll see you guys here in just a moment. So, was it just me, or did the lobby take a little bit longer than average to get started?
I was not.
The game, excuse me.
I wasn't really paying that much attention. I give it maybe a 2-second difference.
Oh, okay. I just normally it times out really smoothly with the intro, just a little bit awkward. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting at a game number 3. It's a best of 9. House BaseTradeTV versus House Leifang in the top left. He is playing, of course, for My Insanity. Currently staying at our house, though, in Korea. It is Drogo.
In the bottom right, as the purple Zerg, he is Pet.
Now, this is really cool, because, again, in the context of things, these are just best of ones between the players, right? Bacon Hero being the bit boss. So it's totally one of the few times I think cheeses from either side are not just viable, but really dangerous. That being said, though, it doesn't have to be cheese all the time always, and if you're better off on 3 bases than 2, go with your strengths, not your weaknesses.
But as I was saying, like, I do think that Pet, from what I recall, was being quite aggressive. And he had even strokes of genius. It's like, as I remembering quite a few months ago, but he was like, he had those moments where he was like, wow, that was a really good move. And then he would kind of throw a little bit. Just make something like really questionable happen directly after, and I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't that impressive, because he was in 1 or 2 of the online tournaments that we did. Whoa! So Bacon Hero donates the first 100 bits, and then the Baracus quickly scoops him up.
Bacon Hero was like trash mob for the mini boss of his Baracus.
Exactly.
All right. So I mean, I agree with your points. Like, the thing is, though, it still just comes back to me for most of my knowledge base is just from the fact that we cast so many games. Like, we just know these players because we cast a sheer amount of games of them, right? Pet's not someone we've seen a lot of. We've seen a fair amount of Drogo, but not a lot of Pet. So, well, there's things to be said about the way he's played in the past. I really have no idea how he's playing right now.
Thank you to 5438TC for the 20-month resub.
Drogo, by the way, not going for Stargate play. Opts to throw it on the Twilight Council.
Pet gonna be maybe a little aggressive. Tiny little bit. You know, he doesn't have like really fast speed, but he is getting an evolution chamber, so an overlord drop is almost always, I think worth it. Still is a good word for it.
There's value, yeah.
But of course, more for the upgrade as well later on. I mean, he might still be actually like really piling on the aggression. Yeah, especially if he continues making lings here. But the speed's gonna time out more with the like double attack that is already like set up and ready to go. You know.
Well, so this might get really weird for Drogo. There's gonna be an elevator of lings up here. It's not just like a drop, right? The overlord's gonna be able to just keep rallying those units up. And the problem is because he's gone quick to Robo, he doesn't have that many gateways. Production is just not gonna be existent. Mothership Core is not quite out yet either, so if he gets a kill on that pylon, that's going to depower the Robo and take away the overcharge potential.
Well, he does manage to spot it before all the lings come in and right before speed, but speed finishes, he's probably going to know what it is now. Stalker immediately trapped. You know, right, this might just be game. This is not a very ideal opener for the situation.
Okay, there's one overcharge, it gets popped. If he pulls away from this, it just goes to the main. Like this pylon, if this gets killed, that's huge. He's just going to rally every... Oh, bit of a misclick.
Yeah, whoopsie. I was going to say there's not a lot of lings yet, but of course still making a lot more, and there's still only one gateway production. Finally, second gateway is going to finish up. Getting an immortal, how much is it really going to help against the lings? It's something on the ground, so I do like this.
Yeah, he's also handling the overlord control here really poorly, actually. He's missing a lot of units. He's wasting a lot of time. Like, this is actually quite bad. I don't want to be too critical, but these are just silly mistakes being made.
Yeah, and this is some really nice controls too for like Drogo barely saved those 2 adepts. Okay, this one dies. That's unfortunate. But I was gonna say the other 2 adepts were barely saved for the probes. He's gonna pull them and try and just nip this in the bud. That immortal, as I said, like it doesn't help that much usually, but in like
it's got a lot of health.
Or low unit scenarios, then sure, yeah, exactly. Take as much as you can.
GG.
And that's just it. GG.
You know, I just I just said I don't want to be too critical of it. I really think if Pet controlled himself better though, he could have killed Drogo. I
think you could be absolutely critical of it. That was I really think it was an ideal setup. Like, usually the Robo doesn't help that much, especially if it's only off of one pylon, right? Like, it's easily killed in the main, but he had time to get an immortal and barely enough time to fit in those crucial warp-ins off of very few gateways.
I gotta say, though, Drogo, you know, we know he's a pretty good player, and he's not been slammed here with the craziest of builds, but he's playing really well. You brought up the adept save back there too. Like those only just barely died at the end of the game too. Like,
yeah, I think the highlight moment was something we didn't actually catch that much. But as soon as he saw that overlord, that pylon went in the front of his base. Like he had a wall off, not one adept plugging the hole, because that one adept could have been crucial. It was the one adept, then 2 adepts, and 2 adepts barely lived, and it helped snowball in the other direction. But I really do. I mean, with you, I think Pet just messed it up. He could have snowballed with his attack.
Yeah. Well, we may have to cook up something crazy and like do an in-house tournament or something like at this rate. If this is going to be a 5-0, we don't want to leave people hanging for too much. But either way, I guess we'll find out who the next Chinese player is. Well, I guess it's Koreans, really. It's only Hurricane or Seat they can pick from at this point. But who the next player for Team Leifang is when we get back. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.